I realized my daughter stopped seeing me as her mother the moment she handed me the gift bag. It was so light I thought it might be empty. Around me, wine glasses clinked while someone near the grill laughed too loudly about a vacation in Greece. Nobody noticed I hadn't touched my coffee. Nobody noticed I'd been sitting alone for almost 20 minutes. Mother's Day brunch was at Cheryl's house, Vanessa's mother-in-law. Of course it was. Cheryl's backyard looked like something from a furniture catalog. White stone patio, fresh roses on the table, tiny candles floating in glass bowls. Everything looked expensive without trying too hard. I noticed something immediately. Nobody had saved me a seat. The only empty chair sat near the outdoor heater beside a pile of folded patio cushions. Vanessa spotted me standing there. "Oh, good, you found it," she said distractedly while carrying drinks to Cheryl's friends. Then she walked past me. No hug, no smile, not even a happy Mother's Day. I told myself not to let it bother me. It still did. I sat quietly while everyone moved naturally around Cheryl like she was the center of gravity. Daniel grilled steaks beside his father while Vanessa fixed Cheryl's bracelet for her. At one point, Daniel handed plates to everyone at the table, then stopped suddenly. "Oh," he muttered awkwardly before grabbing one for me last. Nobody said anything after that. The grandkids ran through the yard holding little handmade cards. "Grandma Cheryl, look what I made." Vanessa smiled watching them. I watched her. That part hurt more than I expected. Then one of Cheryl's friends looked toward me politely. "And you are?" Before I could answer, Vanessa smiled casually. "That's my mom." Just that, like introducing someone from the dentist's office. A few minutes later, Vanessa stood up excitedly beside Cheryl holding a velvet jewelry box. The whole table quieted immediately. Inside was a diamond bracelet so bright it caught sunlight across the patio. People actually gasped. Then came cruise tickets, 2 weeks in Italy, luxury suite. Cheryl covered her mouth emotionally while Vanessa laughed and hugged her. I can still remember the look on my daughter's face. Proud, loving, careful. Like she'd spent months planning it. Then Vanessa turned toward me. Her smile changed instantly. Smaller. Forced. She picked up a tiny paper gift bag from the floor beside her chair. "I figured you probably wouldn't want anything expensive anyway," she said lightly. And that's when the conversation around the table slowly died. Even Cheryl looked down at her plate. The bag crinkled softly in my hands, while 2 people at the table avoided looking at me completely. Then I opened it. Inside the bag was the moment I realized my daughter only loved me when she needed something. Inside the bag was a plastic sunflower keychain. The price sticker was still attached, $4.99. Underneath, it sat a folded pharmacy card. Vanessa had written exactly one sentence inside. "Thanks for always helping us. Helping us. Not loving me, not raising her. Helping." I stared down at the card while the silence around the table slowly thickened. Then Vanessa gave a nervous little laugh. "You're impossible to shop for anyway." Someone quietly cleared their throat. Daniel suddenly became very focused on cutting his steak. Across from me, Cheryl reached for her wine glass without looking up. Nobody knew where to put their eyes. I smiled anyway. I don't even know why. Maybe because mothers spend years protecting their children from embarrassment, even when their children are the ones embarrassing them. "It's lovely," I said softly. Vanessa relaxed immediately after that, like she'd been waiting to see whether I'd make things uncomfortable for her. Then the conversations slowly restarted around me. Vacation plans, boats, summer parties. Nobody mentioned the gift bag again. But after that, I started noticing things differently. Vanessa barely looked at me for the rest of brunch. Not once. And suddenly the last few months started replaying in my head differently too. The random phone calls, the fake warmth in her voice lately. At Christmas, she canceled my birthday dinner because Daniel needed help fixing a tax issue. 3 months ago, she called crying because their second SUV payment was overdue. Last month, she needed money for Tommy's soccer camp. Every conversation somehow turned into something they needed. Money, favors, connections, help. Never whether I was okay. Never whether the house felt too quiet after sunset. When brunch finally ended, Vanessa hugged Cheryl tightly near the driveway. "I'll call you tonight," she promised warmly. Then she looked at me. Drive safe, okay? That was it, no hug. I left the plastic sunflower face down on the passenger seat during the drive home. Every time I stopped at a red light, it slid softly across the leather beside me. By the time I pulled into my driveway, something inside me had finally stopped making excuses for my daughter. That night, I walked into my office, opened the bottom filing cabinet, and pulled out every financial document connected to Vanessa and Daniel. Because for the first time in years, I wanted to know exactly how much my love had been costing me. By midnight, I realized I'd spent more financially supporting Vanessa and Daniel's adult life than Richard, and I spent raising her. By midnight, my entire office floor was covered in folders, mortgage papers, bank transfers, insurance payments, old contracts. I sat there surrounded by 30 years of help. And the worst part, I don't think Vanessa even remembered half of it. The first folder I opened was labeled Vanessa, college, tuition payments, apartment rent, parking tickets, a replacement laptop after she spilled coffee on the first one. I found the receipt for the car Richard, and I bought her during junior year after her transmission failed. I actually smiled for a second when I saw that one. Richard had been so proud that day. "She'll never have to struggle the way we did," he'd said. At the time, that felt like love. Now I wasn't so sure anymore. I kept digging, wedding deposits, their honeymoon upgrade, the down payment for their house. Then came the business files. That's when my stomach started tightening. 3 years ago, Daniel's landscaping company nearly collapsed after a bad investment deal. Vanessa called me sobbing that night. I could still hear it. "Mom, please, we're going to lose everything." I transferred the money before sunrise. No contract, no repayment plan, just trust. A few folders later, I found the exact amount, $82,000. 6 months after that transfer, they bought a boat. I leaned back slowly in my chair, staring at the number on the paper. That's when something uncomfortable hit me. Vanessa never called me after the crisis passed. Not to say thank you. Not to check on me. Not even to tell me they were okay. The calls only came when something went wrong again. And after that, I couldn't stop noticing things. Their second SUV, their vacations, their kitchen remodel, even Tommy's private school tuition. Somehow I had quietly become the foundation underneath their entire lifestyle, and they barely even saw me anymore. Around 1 a.m., my phone buzzed. Vanessa. I stared at her name for a long time before answering. "Hey, Mom," she said softly. Her voice had that warmth again, that careful warmth. "Daniel's truck is having issues again," she said. "We were wondering if maybe you could help us out a little this month." I looked down at the pile of financial records covering my office floor, then at the little plastic sunflower sitting beside my keyboard. And for the first time in years, I didn't answer her immediately. The silence on the other end of the phone changed everything, because that was the exact moment Vanessa realized I might finally say no. Vanessa didn't like silence. I realized that the moment I stopped rushing to fill it for her. "Mom," she said carefully on the phone. I looked down at the paperwork spread across my desk. Bank statements, mortgage payments, insurance renewals, 30 years of rescuing people who barely noticed they were being rescued. "Are you still there?" she asked. Her voice had softened now. That gentler voice she only used when she needed something. I stared at the little plastic sunflower beside my keyboard. Then I said something I hadn't said to my daughter in years. "I can't help this time." The silence afterward felt strange, heavy, not angry yet, just shocked. "What do you mean?" Vanessa asked quietly. I could already hear the change happening in her voice, the warmth disappearing. Daniel saying something in the background. I leaned back slowly in my chair. "You and Daniel will figure it out," I said. Another silence, longer this time. Then Vanessa laughed nervously. "Mom, come on, it's just until next month." That word hit me harder than it should have, just like every sacrifice I'd made had been small, temporary, expected. I glanced around my office, at the awards on the shelf, the framed photos, the company Richard and I built from nothing. Somewhere along the way, Vanessa had started treating my stability like it belonged to her. And maybe that was partly my fault, because every time life got difficult for her, I made sure she never felt it for very long. "Mom!" I realized she was waiting again. waiting for me to give in, waiting for the version of me that always did. But that woman suddenly felt very far away. "I have to go," I said quietly. Then I hung up. My hand actually shook afterward, not because I regretted it, because I didn't. That scared me more than anything. 20 minutes later, my phone rang again. Vanessa, then Daniel, then Vanessa again. I let all of them ring, and sometime around midnight, I opened my laptop and searched how much my company might actually be worth if I sold it. The next morning, Vanessa called me 14 times before 9 a.m. At 8:17 the next morning, Vanessa left her first voicemail crying. By 9 a.m., she'd called 14 times. I listened to every voicemail sitting alone in my kitchen while cold coffee sat untouched beside me. At first, she sounded confused, then emotional, then angry. "Mom, please call me back. Daniel's freaking out. You can't just suddenly change like this." That line stayed with me. You can't just suddenly change. Like my role in their lives had already been decided for me. Like I wasn't allowed to become someone else. Around noon, there was a knock at my front door. Vanessa stood there holding her sunglasses in one hand, twisting them nervously. For a second, she looked young again, not 35, not manipulative, just scared. "Mom," she said quietly when I opened the door. Behind her, Daniel stayed near the car. He didn't come up to the porch. That told me everything. Vanessa walked inside slowly and looked around the house like she was seeing it properly for the first time. The silence, the framed photos, Richard's empty chair near the window. "I didn't realize things were this bad," she whispered. I almost laughed, not because it was funny, because she still thought this was about money. I sat across from her at the kitchen table. "The flour hurt," I admitted quietly, "but that's not what broke me." Vanessa looked down immediately. "It was realizing you only really saw me when something went wrong in your life." Tears rolled down her face silently after that. Real tears this time. No performance. No panic, just shame. "I'm sorry," she whispered. And for the first time in a long time, I believed she meant it. But something inside me had already changed. 2 months later, I sold the company. Not because I hated Vanessa, because I wanted the rest of my life to belong to me. I bought a small lake house 3 hours away. Quiet mornings, no emergencies, no rescue calls, just peace. A week after I moved, a letter arrived. Handwritten, from Vanessa. Inside was the little plastic sunflower, and underneath it, one sentence. "I think this is the first gift that ever cost me something too." I sat there staring at that flower for a very long time. Then, slowly, I started crying. Not because I lost my daughter, because maybe, for the first time in years, I finally got part of her back. Please subscribe to our channel, and tell us in comments from where are you watching this video.